struggle of our people, which always was being about the narrative. We've been struggling for more than 7 decades to reach with the true narrative, what exactly happening in Palestine. Obviously, we've been shut down by government, by Zionist movement, by Christian Zionists, by government, until probably for the last 20, 25 years with the evolution of the social media. A tiny bit of our narrative started to reach to ordinary people, to know, to open their eyes, what exactly happening in Palestine, which is, in one single sentence, it's our people's struggle against a settler colonialist state backed by big players headed by the United States and Britain and France and the rest of them, on the expense of our nationally, internationally recognized inalienable rights of self-determination, freedom, and right of return of our refugees who've been forced by ethnic cleansing, which still continue until now. The huge ethnic cleansing happened in 1948, 47, 48, where more than 750,000 Palestinians, they've been forced to leave their homeland. And as things evolved on the 7th of October, and here's the trick. The media, the leaders who are implicit with the crime against our people, their line of narrative, it's what's happened on the 7th of October. As before, as on the 6th of October, the 5th of October, the 4th of October, going back years, nothing happened. History just started on the 7th of October. And even so, if we want to take this 7th of October issue, Hamas is a terrorist organization, and Israel has the right to defend itself. This is the narrative which was being unfairly, anti-history, anti-logic, was being marketed. The first thing, is Hamas a terrorist group? I'm not Hamas. I am a simple Palestinian people. Yes. Hamas, as the all other Palestinian organizations, they have not only the right, they have a duty to resist.
Yeah, it's a duty.
And this embedded within the international law, the Fourth Geneva Convention, which was being issued after the Second World War, 1948. You have the United Nations General Assembly in 1982. And further to that, you have paragraph 139 of the International Criminal Court, which dealt with the legality of the separation wall, which was being built by the Israelis in 2004. Paragraph 139 established clearly that the Palestinians, they have the right to resist, and second, Israel doesn't have the right to claim the self-defending itself. And why is that? Going back to the international law, before the history, any resistance from an occupied people, which is lawful, the occupier, they can't launch a war against them and claiming that it's self-defense. Self-defense, you can claim, any country can claim self-defense if another country illegally or unjustifiably does attack them. But when you attacking, actually you killing, you carnage, massacre of the people you are occupying, you can't claim self-defense. So here the fault is in front of you. Each story of these deaths, each one of them is a human being with a future. And when you think that so far it's documented, that's not nearly, 83 the last statistics. 83 families, they've been wiped out from the civil register. 83 families, they are not exist anymore. So this is how much the savage, how much the fascism of the state, settler state of Israel can do, and still they are doing. At the same time, these leaders still believing or supporting the Israeli settler colonialist state as what they are doing as self-defense. No such thing called self-defense. If you go and Google these names, probably Yusuf Musa, which is there.
Abu Musa, yeah.
You probably heard this story,
Yeah.
which was being documented. And thanks to the social media now, it was being circulated worldwide. Yusuf was 7 years old from Tulkarem, from a refugee camp, a very small refugee camp. It's 60 meters by 30 meters, that's all what is the camp. Just the outskirts of the city of Tulkarem in the road towards Nablus. His dad is a doctor. His dad left. He hugged all his family before he left, as usual, as any of us do, probably. His mom left the house, searching for food from neighbor. And before she came back, the kids are gone. Among them is Yusuf. His dad was still in his duty at the hospital. They rushed him to the hospital. His wife came and she didn't find out what's happened, just looking for the kids, which she knew that they've been brought to the hospital. And you can imagine as a dad to go to find that Yusuf, together with his siblings, all they've been killed by the Israelis. And this is what the Israeli settlers, with their long narrative that they are fighting terrorism. Yusuf is not terrorist. Our Palestinian kids, they have the right to live in peace and freedom as well, not only peace, but in freedom within their own homeland. So all these photos, behind each one of them, there's a story, and there's a tragic story. Unfortunately, we are aware that freedom doesn't come cheap. Yes, we mourn our kids, we mourn our people who are falling now as we speak, victim of this savage, of this racist, fascist state called Israel. But not telling you on my behalf. I'm just conveying the stand of our people who are now, as we speak, under the hammer of the F-16 and the bombardment and all sorts of killing weaponry in the world supplied by America and by Britain. They saying, and their message, yes, they inflicted pain on us. We lost our beloved one, but we will keep fighting. We won't give up.
Yeah.
And that's the message which by the end of the day puts in our shoulder the duty to take their narrative and to reach with that narrative anywhere we go. So, because this is what we can do at least here outside. So again, thank you very much for coming, and please do take the narrative from here and reach with it everywhere. And thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank
May I also introduce Mr. Dr. Mohammed Sharafa. He's also from Gaza. His family is living in Gaza. And please, we need to hear from Mohammed about what's happening in there.
Yeah. So now we have 4,000 children. In reality, there are 5,000. There's 1,000 under Bلغو. So we speak about 5,000 stories. Last week I was listening to a friend of mine and he was saying that people of Gaza are made of steel. We are not actually made of steel. Because our hearts are made of glass. Yes, you might watch in the news that they accept seeing their houses destroyed. Like my family house was destroyed, my brother's house was destroyed, their business, everything. You speak to them, they are okay, they don't cry, they are fine. But I'm sure like they cry at some point, but they hide it because they want to show strength to their enemies. They don't want to show the cry that they actually cry. But we are not made of steel. And also we are not human animals.
No.
We are not human animals. They are actually. We are humans. And for these 4,000 or 5,000 children, everyone has a story. And if we speak about Yusuf, I'm sure that his photos will remain at his house. His dad will see him every day. So I'm not gonna forget him. So what would you tell his dad every day he will remember him. So that's what's gonna happen. Big questions will be, what would you say for his brothers and sisters? What would we say to them when they grow up, when they become adults? What would we tell them? That you had a brother who got killed by an F-16. He was asked why did you, what did you do? The same now that with my nephew, my nieces, every time I speak to my mom, ask about him, and she's telling me, okay, Adam, he's 4 months old. When they attacked my brother's house, he was inside. But he managed to escape. But he's no longer getting milk from his mom. He's stopped that. She's not breastfeeding him at all. He gave up that one. His sister as well, she used to go to the toilet by herself, and now because of all that explosions around her, no, she cannot do it anymore. My niece is another one is sick, but they're alive. I mean, in the end they're alive. But look what they are living. So what would you tell them when they're actually 18 and 20? Would we stop them from dreaming of living like other children? You know, every single child here has never lived a normal life. Everyone here has never had a day full of a day full of electricity. Like my brother now is 17 years old. He has never ever lived a single day with electricity, or has never ever had a day of drinking water that is not contaminated. Every child here had to live through the trauma of no electricity, no clean water, no enough food. everyone. So at some point you might ask yourself, is it actually good for them to live in the paradise? Or is it good for them to stay in Gaza where they actually suffer every day? So that's the situation now. 5,000 kids. That's not over yet. They might become 6,000, 7,000. If we don't stop this, if this doesn't stop, we will be counting more and more stories. So yeah, thanks for coming today, and always remember them, always speak for Palestine, celebrate Palestine. We have a very rich history, and then we are not human animals. Thank you.
Thank you. Just last thing I want to say before we go through the short movies here from Gaza, directly from there, and then we'll, if you have time, we'll watch a film for Tantura film. It's about the, what happened in Nakba in 1948. Finally, just I want to say something that I came to know now, that the Israel, in fact, is occupying all the world, and all the world is occupied by Israel, except one place, which is Gaza.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gaza is the only place is free on earth. Long live Gaza.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.